Hey, Knicks Nation. How you guys doing? I hope you are enjoying your weekend, that your weekend is safe, that you're healthy, that your family is safe and healthy, and that you're enjoying this time off. Hopefully you get time off from your job for the weekend, unless you have to work on the weekend. But hopefully everybody's in good shape. Welcome, Philip Casas Novas, Supreme One, L. Marshall. Welcome, Stan Man, Organic Nick, my brother. Politically not correct, my brother. Flizzy Flex, my man Cash Out James, Project VMG, Matumbo, my man Jose Vasquez, Sister Margaret Edwards, how you doing? My brother Malik Shabazz, Grand Rising, my brother. Rich Boy, salute. Chris Hauser. Every time I see Hauser, it reminds me of the Sopranos. Remember Sopranos when my man came to the house. He said, "I'm looking for Coach Hauser." Remember, then they brought the big screen TV. He said, "I'm looking for Coach Hauser." Paulie Walnuts. Remember that? All right. Anyway, Franz Germain, how you doing? Mr. NYC for life. Dean Easy, Hannah Rabadi. Hello, all of you guys. Cabal Dobbins, Jay Dizzy. What's up? Steve Acero, what's up, my brother? Francisco Acevedo, Ace of Spade, Dwight Young, November, hello. Nabiska, my brother, Nabiska 23, Coach Hauser, how you doing? Deshaun Wilson, Francisco Carrillo, Black Above Reality, John Mark, JP, Miss Nancy Stevenson, good to see you. John Mark, good to see everybody. I hope you're all safe. Quinn Johnson, salute. I hope you're all safe and enjoying your weekend. I'm coming on as I usually do on Sundays before my wife and I go on our Sunday date. We usually have a Sunday date where we go out to eat. We spend time, just us, from this crazy working world that we live in. George Thomas, hello. Hello, Caliente Kid. How you doing, man? Cherokee Indian, my brother from New York. What's up? Raul Rodriguez, how are you guys doing? All right. So the Knicks are on the second 8-game winning streak of the season. The second 8-game winning streak of the season. And the second 8-game winning streak of the season. And not that many Knicks coaches have done that. I think the last coach to have 2 winning streaks in one season of 8 games or more was Red Holtzman. Am I correct on that? I think I'm right. So Tibbs is the second Knicks coach in Knicks history to have 2 winning streaks of at least 8 games. I just keep thinking of all these people that's talking about fire Tibbs. I just keep thinking of this, and I'm like, fire Tibbs? Like, are you crazy? Like, what's wrong with y'all? I mean, some people, it just shows me you have no knowledge of what winning NBA basketball looks like. You just have no knowledge, okay? You have no knowledge, and you spend too much time of your life micro-analyzing a winning coach. It's just ridiculous to me. Ridiculous, okay? Absolutely out of this world, ridiculous. Makes no sense. Somebody said, "I'm sorry, Rob, but I still think they should fire Tibbs." I'm like, okay. Drugs are strong. The drugs they got out today. When I was a kid, when I was a kid, it was weed, right? Just weed, and people that was going strong drugs were doing like heroin. And then generally they were doing the heroin, they were shooting the heroin. And that actually saved me and my fellas, because none of us wanted to shoot something in our arm, because we would see people with swole up arms. So we didn't want to shoot stuff in our arm. You know what I'm saying? So that saved us from becoming, worse, But the dudes that came out of Vietnam, they would shoot stuff in their arm because they got messed up coming from Vietnam. The worst thing we would see, is stuff like Old English, or like, Thunderbird, or like Wild Irish Rose. We'd be stuff like that. That'd be like the worst thing. And brothers that was in trouble, they'd be drinking that Wild Irish Rose cheap stuff, So now, it then graduated. Like they brought crack in, and then that came, and then you got the opioids going crazy. And so, I tell people, there's lots of now that there's a bunch of other people, when it was us in the red lines neighborhoods, it was like, let's get tough on crime, But now that it's outside the red lined neighborhoods, if you know what I'm saying. So now they're a bit more, what's the word, understanding, to the drug issue, the opioid drug issue. So if I say to some of you people that's talking about fire Tibbs, if you're having these drug problems, there are available programs to help you. That's all. I just want to say, there are available programs to help you overcome your problem. Okay? Because if you're just yelling fire Tibbs after he done put the Knicks through 2 straight 8-game winning streaks, and he's getting ready to bring you into the playoffs for the second time in 3 seasons, and a rebuilding team that the year before that won 21 games, and you're still talking about fire Tibbs, I think you might have a problem. The first thing to do is to acknowledge your issue. First thing. See, in order to get better, you must acknowledge that you have this issue. I don't know what it is today because there's so much out there. There's all kind of opioid type stuff, fentanyl and meth and crack. They got all kind of stuff now. And I haven't smoked weed in a while. It's been like, last time I smoked weed was more than 30 years ago. Shoot, 40 years ago. It's been a minute. So from my understanding, though, is that the weed today is more stronger than the weed was when we was kids, and that they have this synthetic stuff out there. So if you kind of hooked on these things, so those of you yelling fire Tibbs, I'm looking at this and I'm saying, I can't help but think you got some personal problems. I can't help but think, because it's not about basketball. It can't be about basketball, because if it's about basketball, you would be saying that's foolishness, right? If it was about basketball, you wouldn't be talking that foolishness. You wouldn't be talking about foolishness. You wouldn't. Because you recognize you got a winning coach. And I have heard, believe it. I mean, some of y'all will believe it, but I've heard some people talking about fire the whole front office. I'm like, wait, what? What? Are you crazy? Okay, I know you got issues now. Fire the front office? Paul Neeles, I'm sorry if I'm messing your name up. Paul Neeles, thank you for the $5. Well, we need to meet up on the 23rd. Oh, yes. Speaking of that, all right, my nephew got the ticket. So y'all done now. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to diss y'all, but you're done. I'm not even selling a ticket. I found out my nephew is in the Orlando area, and I forgot about it, to be honest with you. And, my man came here to visit me from his father lived in Germany, came over here to visit, and now, we're going to connect. So my man, I got the tickets covered now. Me and my nephew going over there, I'm just saying. So, but if y'all talking about fire the front office, yo, wait, organic, we going to meet at that restaurant next to the gym, right? We're going to meet at that restaurant next to the gym, right? I'm just saying, we're going to meet at the restaurant next to the gym, right? That restaurant, for a variety of reasons, including the food, actually. The restaurant is very nice. Yes, it is. And it's next to a nice gym. I just want to say, that's all I'm saying. But look, even if I don't want to say, organic, if you want to tell me, you tell me. I don't want to say. But it's a nice restaurant for a variety of reasons. Okay? Just put that way. But the food is excellent. The food is also good. I'm just saying. Especially if you like Colombian food, Colombian style food. It's really nice. It's good. The food is good. No joke, man. Food is good. No joke about it. What was I saying? Oh, dang, I got thrown off by the gym there going. Oh, yeah. Okay, wait. Dang. Oh, yes. Okay, so even if, 2 or 3 years ago, let's say 3 years ago, when they first hired Tibbs, right? When they first hired Tom Thibodeau in July, I want to say it was July 2020. right? It was July 2020. And, you know, Tibbs wasn't my first choice. Like I said, he was my second choice. He's my second choice. I had Kenny Atkinson for my first choice because the Knicks were in rebuilding mode. And I felt like Kenny Atkinson, having done that in Brooklyn, would do very well, you know, in New York with the young kids that we had. So I wanted Kenny Atkinson, but he didn't get hired. And I think, and without saying, the de facto number one choice in New York, and tell me if I'm wrong, y'all. The default number one that we'll never get is Mark Jackson. Okay, I think we all understand that, right? The default number one guy that we would all want in New York is Mark Jackson. But we understand because of his certain stances on alphabets and rainbows, he's never going to be able to coach in the NBA because he took certain stances on the alphabet and the rainbow, and you know, he's just not going to get it. I mean, that's just what it is. You just got to be real about it, right? You know, Mark Jackson is never going to get the opportunity again, even though I feel like he is a dynamic coach, great coach for rebuilding as well as developing defense. Mark Jackson knows his stuff, okay? Knows his basketball. I love Mark Jackson. Come up out of, what was he? He wasn't Archbishop Malloy, was he? Mark Jackson wasn't Archbishop Malloy. He was another one. And then he came up with St. John's and Luke Carnesecca, right? I mean, St. John's and Luke Carnesecca. I remember him as a freshman there. And then he played with Chris Mullin there with St. Francis Prep. Thank you, Blake. It wasn't Archbishop Malloy because that was the other dude that's on TNT was on Archbishop Malloy. The dude from Kenny Smith. The Jet was Archbishop Malloy. It was about the same time. It was like Mark Jackson, Kenny Smith came a little later, and there was Pearl Washington. Remember Pearl Washington? Pearl Washington was a bad boy too. And they was all about the same time. And I remember like Pearl Washington and Jackson were, I think, were freshmen at the same year, if I'm not mistaken. Bishop Laughlin, that's what it was, David? Okay. Walter Berry, yes. But I'm talking about point guard. But yeah, Walter Berry was the truth. They used to call him the truth. Walter Berry was the truth. They used to call him the truth too. He just had a problem, you know. He liked that OE and that wild average rose a little bit too much, and that messed him up. Y'all know Walter Berry. You know, Willie Glass. Oh my gosh, yes, Willie Glass, the jumping beam. Willie Glass, St. John's. That's right. That's right. See, so yeah, they had back in the day. So you have Mark Jackson coming out of that situation. And then he was a rookie with the New York Knicks, and we know that you know, he really, you know, was rookie of the year. I thought we had a cornerstone. To me, Mark Jackson was the first real cornerstone. I mean, they had Michael Ray Richardson, but he had the drug problems, if you remember. Michael Ray Richardson, to me, would have went down as the greatest guard the Knicks ever had if it wasn't for the cocaine problems that he had. But you know, y'all remember Michael Ray Richardson. He was a bad boy, man. He was a bad boy. But, you know, that was problems. See? So, but then I felt when we got Mark Jackson, he was going to be that dude that came and helped us win the chip, you know, with Ewing. Once after the Earl of Pearl, Walt Frazier years, you would have a new, and then all of a sudden, yeah, Sugar Ray, that's right, Sugar Ray and Ray Williams was good coming out of, Ray Williams came out of the University of Minnesota, but he was really from, what's the upstate New York? They don't like to consider themselves upstate, but he was from someplace like upstate New York. I forgot. But him and his brother, Mount Vernon, but his brother was better though. Y'all know his brother was better. The Wizard, right? That was the baddest point guard in the NBA when they won the championship. The Wizard, Gus Williams was my man. That was my favorite player. Supersonics. Gus was the Wizard, baby. Forget about it. But so Mark Jackson, having been in the Knicks system 2 times, knows basketball. And of course, we know he was the one that was coaching Golden State when they went from the bottom to the playoffs and winning 50 games. They had just won, I think, 54 games when they fired him. And I didn't understand why they fired him, except later on, like I said, alphabet soup rainbow situation came out, and he was a pastor in his church, and apparently he spoke on these subjects from his pulpit, and that offended the rainbow and alphabet soup lovers, and that messed him up right there. Okay. That messed him up right there. Well, actually, I consider Mark Jackson a stone Lou Carnesecca disciple, right? I mean, if you remember Lou Carnesecca with the sweater, I met the dude a couple of times, man. He was a little fireball, Lou Carnesecca, and he was real hard on his point guards, real hard on his point guards. He used to break on Mark Jackson, man. It made me feel bad just watching it. He used to break on Mark Jackson, but Lou Carnesecca, man, that I think Jackson is a Lou Carnesecca disciple to me. Everything that he knew coming out was from Lou Carnesecca. That's the way I look at it. It wasn't even like it wasn't even right there, it's right. And yeah, we're gonna beat these guys, you know. How Lou Carnesecca, man. So little Louis, I think he's a Lou Carnesecca disciple, to be honest with you. Everybody was second to Lou Carnesecca. That's to me how he learned the game. So I wanted him to be coach. I think if you were to poll the majority of people in New York, we'd all want Mark Jackson to be the coach of the New York Knicks. It's like a natural thing, right? I mean, being from New York, being from Queens, and playing in Queens, coming up in New York, you know, mom, there goes that man, you know, that everybody wanted Mark Jackson. But at the same time, I like to think in the real, and I knew that because of his stances, nobody, the NBA black, basically, let's put it real, right? The NBA has blackballed Mark Jackson. Okay, I mean, right? I mean, it's not like the first time they blackballed somebody. This happened. They blackballed Mark Jackson. Okay, they did. They blackballed Mark Jackson, and that's period. That's what happened. Okay, blackballed him, and he's not coaching in the NBA because he's been blackballed. That's all I'm saying. Period. End of story. They blackballed the former Chris Jackson, Mahmoud Abdul Rauf. They blackballed him. He was one of the greatest shooters the NBA ever saw. Even on the level of, I'm going to tell you, on the level, in my opinion, of Stephen Curry was. Before Stephen Curry, there was a guy named Chris Jackson, came from Louisiana, and then he was in the pros, and he became a Muslim, changed his name to what it is right now. What's his name? Abdul Rauf. That boy, I'm telling you, they couldn't do nothing with him. I mean, yeah. Mahmoud Abdul Rauf, and I like his name too. It's cool. It's got a cool thing. Mahmoud Abdul Rauf. He was a cool dude, man. He was cool, still cool. So anyway, they blackballed him. They blackballed Connie Hawkins. That I'm going way back now, but they blackballed Connie Hawkins, took away the prime years of his career. If Connie Hawkins was able to play in the NBA from when he was 21, 22, he'd have gone down as one of the greatest players ever. He came in the league as a rookie at age 28, and it was like 6 years overdue. They blackballed him, right? So there's dudes that have been blackballed. So we know Mark Jackson. I don't think I'm saying anything that y'all don't understand or that don't agree with, especially if you're from New York. You understand Mark Jackson has been blackballed, you know, period. It ain't because of his lack of ability to coach or play or know basketball. He is a brilliant basketball mind. There's just no doubt about it. Brilliant basketball mind. But he's been blackballed. So when it was time, but to be quite honest with you, on the other side, if there's a dude in the NBA that would say, screw the NBA, I'm hiring him, it would be Dolan. Okay? If there's a dude in the NBA that would say, screw the NBA, I'm going to hire Mark Jackson, it would be James Dolan. He'd be that dude. Okay? He would be. He don't give a crap. He really don't. But right now, you know, he hired, don't want to do it, but he hired the Don. And the Don had this thing with Tibbs going back a minute. The Don was his agent and all that. So that was why, you know, that's why that wasn't going to happen. So it just wasn't meant to happen. So I wanted Kenny Atkinson. From what I remember at the time when they interviewed Kenny Atkinson, they being the people interviewing him, and I don't know who was in the room with the Don at the time, but they say he came off as too arrogant. And I was kind of disappointed because I really wanted Kenny A. But then I had behind him Tom Thibodeau for the defense, for the toughness, for the background coming from a Knicks organization, helping Boston with their defense win the 2008 championship with a brilliant defensive strategies that he had. So I had him as my backup. I didn't like the focus on the veterans remember, if you remember when he came out, they were talking about trading RJ because he was only 20 years old, and Tibbs is not into rookies and young players. RJ was in his second season, and they were talking about all of that at the time, and I wasn't with that at all, and I'm glad they didn't go with that. And we know that Tibbs favored the veterans that they brought in, the Reggie Bullocks, the Alfred Paytons, the Julius Randles, he favored the Nerlens Noels. He favored the veterans that he had on his squad. But he liked Mitch Rob. Mitch Rob just got hurt. So that was, the first season. They went through, we know what happened, 41-31. Second season, I blame the second season on miscommunication between the Don and Tibbs. So if you look at the first season, Tibbs was with Randle, like in Randle's corner from the summer before, right? He said it. He was visiting Randle. He was in touch with Randle. He was depending on Randle. He was in Randle's corner from the first season. I couldn't understand it at the time. I wanted Randle traded from his first season with the Knicks. I ain't gonna lie. I wasn't even with the signing. I'll be honest. I was not with the signing. I thought Randle was a turnover waiting to happen. And I was like, no. But Tibbs was with him. Tibbs was with Reggie Bullock. He loved Reggie Bullock. Tibbs was with Alfred Payton because he's a defense-first point guard. And Alfred Payton couldn't shoot. He had the Ray Charles problem. Couldn't shoot. Couldn't feel his way through a court to hit nothing. But Tibbs liked that. He could get in the paint. Okay? So, and then, of course, he had Mitch Rob and Nerlens Noel, his rim protectors that he need for his defense. So that was Tibbs the first year. Second year, they bring in guys that he didn't want. Kemba Walker, he didn't want. They checked with him, I found out later, on Evan Fournier. He liked Evan Fournier for his shooting. He definitely was not with the Cam Reddish move. He was not with the Cam Reddish move. Okay, he wasn't with it. Okay, then this year, notice what happened. He takes Evan Fournier out the rotation. He takes his own boy D Rose out the rotation. And he puts in the rotation, starting Grimes. He Grimes, he puts Deuce in the rotation. They go on, they win 8 straight. Okay. So that is, and then this year, he was with the Josh Hart move. Tibbs was on board. So you see, the first year, Tibbs and the front office was in line. The second year, they wasn't in line, and you saw that. This year, they're in line again, and you can see the results again. So as long as Tibbs and the front office are in line, I think we're in good shape. So that was good. Now, Friday's game. Let's talk about Friday's game. I did look at the highlights. I looked at Friday's game. All right, so look here, man. When you look at the stats from Friday's game, just look at the stats, right? When you look at the stats from Friday's game, the Knicks should not have won that game. They should not have won that game, man. They shouldn't have won. I mean, the rebounding was close. The rebounding was 36-39, I want to say. 34-39, very close rebounding. 23 assists on both sides. Miami had 12 turnovers. Knicks had 11 turnovers. Miami shot 48% from 3. Knicks shot 42. Miami shot 48% from the field. Knicks shot 58. It was a close game. Everything about the game shows you it was close. The first half, the Knicks were really running on all cylinders in the first half. The second half, Miami's shooting and their defense was coming back. Okay, but Bam Adebayo, look at Bam Adebayo did what he do, man. He did what he do. I mean, he ended up 7 of 16, 4 of 4 from the line, 4 boards, 18 points, plus 4, 2 blocks. That's a typical Bam game. Okay, Bam do what he do. Now the thing is that him and Mitch Rob kind of played to a standstill on the boards because Mitch Rob wasn't really big on the boards and neither was Bam. But Bam's ability to not only defend, like I said, he is one of the best playmaking centers in basketball. The only guy that I can say is better than Bam as far as a playmaking 5 is the MVP called the Joker. That's it. Other than that, Bam, nobody can mess with him in terms of a playmaking 5. You just can't mess with him. He can play make from that position, bring the ball up, set up your offense, kill you from passing, hustle on defense. Bam is that dude. See, I've always had a lot of respect for him. I still do. Sabonis is good. I ain't gonna front. Sabonis is good at that too. Just Sabonis is good. I ain't disrespecting Sabonis, but I like Bam better. I ain't disrespecting Sabonis. Sabonis is good, man. Sabonis is also that dude. But I like Bam better. Okay. Okay, that's all. But so that was a battle. Now, look here. I want to tell you something, man. In the standings, right now in the standings. But if you look at the game, but let me get back to the game. Before we talk about the standings, let me get back to the game. So the Knicks should have lost this game. They should have lost this game, man. Miami was coming back, but for the Knicks to win a game like this on Miami's floor, Miami making a furious comeback with all their guns blazing, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Tyler Herro, they was blazing. And the Knicks still win the game. We got something, brethren. I want to tell you something. We got something, man. I knew they were going to be better in the second half. I told you that. But they're going to, if they beat Boston tonight, you got a juggernaut in New York. Let me just tell you that again. If they beat Boston tonight, you got a juggernaut in New York. You got a juggernaut in New York, baby. You really do. Okay. You got a juggernaut in New York. Okay. Now, and that's why I was saying Friday, the making of a juggernaut. Now, I'm honestly, by rights, okay, by rights now, I'm just saying the Knicks should lose tonight. They should. They should lose in Boston. I mean, just thinking that. Top of the East, right? Half a game, Boston. Half a game out from Milwaukee. In Boston. Just lost to New York a week ago. Close game. By rights, they should lose. The Knicks should lose tonight. If the Knicks win tonight, you got a juggernaut. If the Knicks win tonight, the NBA has a serious problem in New York. A serious problem in New York. If they win tonight. Okay? I'm just saying. And this is what I'm saying, though. It reminds me of a different sport, a different situation. Like, y'all remember Randy Moss? Randy Moss, wide receiver, Hall of Fame wide receiver. Every time Randy Moss caught a pass, you thought there was a chance he could go all the way. Every time he caught a pass. When Randy Moss caught a pass, you're like, okay, he's going all the way. Right? And then there was a running back. He come out of, I think he come out of TCU. He played for the Rams. He used to fumble a lot. But every time he had the ball, when he broke past the line of scrimmage, you was like, this dude could go all the way. Right? Because he was just that good. Like you said, man, he could go all the way. Brethren, the Knicks win tonight. No, it wasn't Tomlinson. It was Eric Dickerson. Thank you, Jerry. My man Jerry got it. It was Eric Dickerson. Eric Dickerson, man, when he broke past the line of scrimmage, you were like, he might go all the way. It'd be a miracle if they stopped him when he got past the line of scrimmage. He had to fumble the basketball because he could go all the way, just like Randy. Well, let me tell you something. If the Knicks win tonight in Boston, it's going to have that feel to it. You feeling me? It's going to have that feel. SMU. Thank you, Wellflower. That's right. He was from SMU. If the Knicks beat Boston in Boston tonight, it's going to have that feel to it. It's going to have that feel like, who can stop this team? Like, who can stop them? You understand? Who can stop them? If they beat Boston, they have no business beating Boston tonight. They have no business doing it. But if they beat Boston tonight, I don't know, man. I'm just saying, I don't know, man. If they be who? Let me look at the injury report. Robert Williams is out. Malcolm Brogdon is day to day. Oh my God. Oh, I can't sleep on it now. That means Jaylen Brown's gonna play. Jaylen Brown's gonna play. Okay. Tatum and Brown are tough now. Tatum and Brown are tough. Ain't no fronting, but if you missing Robert Williams and you missing Brogdon coming off your bench, Brogdon's the only thing kept them in the game last time. If you know what I'm saying? Brogdon is the only thing kept them in the game. That's what I'm saying. Brogdon had 22 the last game. He was knocking down some jumpers, man. If it wasn't for Brogdon, Boston would have got blown out. But this is a different game. Knicks have no business winning tonight in Boston. They have no business winning tonight in Boston. I mean, y'all understand what I'm saying. I'm not trying to down my Knicks, obviously, but I'm trying to tell you, they have no business winning tonight in Boston. They have no business doing it. If they win tonight in Boston, y'all, it's like Eric Dickerson and broke loose, man. I mean, it's like, what you going to do? Let me look. I'm looking. They're looking at the Knicks injury report. Jaquan Jeffries and Trevor Keels are day to day. They don't even have Brunson on the injury report. So Brunson going to play. Okay. Brunson playing. Okay. So if they get past these dudes tonight in Boston, it's about to be on. That's all I'm saying. So look at the standings now. Now, wait, one more thing about the game Friday. Did y'all notice where Juju hit the shot from? First of all, did y'all notice that Jimmy Butler was basically mugging Julius Randle before that shot? I mean, he was mugging Julius Randle before the shot. It's almost like, to me, he wanted to, I don't know if they had a foul to give, but he was purposely trying to hack Julius Randle. They didn't call it. Okay. But do you know that spot is one of Julius's favorite spots? If you just check the right side of the court, leaning to his left, he loves to shoot from there. He has been hitting from there all season long. Dude's been draped on him, and he's been hitting that one from that particular spot. That's one of his spots, okay? So when I saw that, I wasn't surprised because that's one of Julius's spots right there. The left side of the court at the three-point line, fading to his right. He loves that spot. Right, Coach Howard? He loves that spot. So that's what I'm saying. So I wasn't surprised that one went in. I wasn't. Okay. But Juju and the Knicks, my gosh, man. He dropped 43 also. He dropped 40. Juju is all NBA. I'm going to just say it. Let's just wrap it up right there with that. Juju is all NBA. I'm going to just say it. Juju's all NBA. I got to give it to him. All NBA dude, man. What you gonna say? In Miami, Brunson, I think he dropped 25. That game Brunson did. It was a team effort, but Juju, he's that girl like this. This is that girl. This is what Juju is. When you was in high school, there was a girl, maybe she had on some glasses. Maybe she was average. You didn't think nothing of her. And then you graduate high school and you come back 10 years later and you're like, oh my, what? Now she took the glasses off. She got contacts on. And now you look and you be like, it's you? Yeah, it's you. That was the last girl at the party. But then she became like the deal, later on. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm talking about. She became the deal later on. You'd be like, what? What? This is the same girl? Yeah, it's the same one. That's Juju. Last girl at the party all of a sudden became Miss America. You understand? The last girl at the party, the last one you'd ask to dance because you afraid to ask all of them to dance, and finally there's one that nobody asked to dance, and you got to dance with her. She became Miss America. She became the deal. Juju did that. Okay, Juju did that. And you got to give Juju credit, and you don't forget Tom Thibodeau, who had Juju's back the whole time. Even when we was talking about trading, and I was talking about trading this boy after his first season, I was like, he's a turnover waiting to happen. He's not a team player. He got a bad attitude. I don't care about his 2020. Get him out of here. Tom Thibodeau said, nope. Tom Thibodeau was in this man's corner from the beginning. And now you look at Julius Randle, and if you want to look in the dictionary next to power forward, you should see a picture, not of Anthony Davis. You should see a picture of Julius Randle. He is the power forward. He is the power forward. Okay? Can't mess with him, man. Can't mess with him. Yes, sir. Can't mess with him. Can't mess with him. Okay? So now you got that. You got Jalen Brunson, the assassin. And what I like, I also noticed this the other night against Miami. RJ Barrett has now decided He's not going to force stuff. He is going to let the game come to him. He is going to play more in the team. He's not going to try to force his shots. RJ was 8 of 15. Now, he didn't hit a three-pointer, but he got 17 points. He was -1. Most of the Knicks were minus. They shouldn't have won this game, man. He was -1, but then you had Josh Hart plus 16, Hartenstein and Toppin. That was the plus. And then you had Jay Randle +1, and that was the crew. Okay. Jared Keeney, thanks for the $5, my brother. RJ is the X factor. If RJ can learn a 2-point elbow shot from Brunson, look, have y'all noticed though? Seriously, I have noticed RJ's footwork has got a lot better since the acquisition of one Jalen Brunson. I've noticed that his footwork has got a lot better. I don't think that's coincidental. I think Brunson is rubbing off on RJ. RJ is picking up that footwork, man. He's coming. And what I like is that, just even last week, dribbling too much, dribbling, trying to force his way around, dribbling all over the court, using up the whole 24-second clock. But then the last two games, the game against the Nets and the game against the Heat, RJ was much more efficient, much more under control, much more not forcing things. And what did he have in terms of turnover? RJ's a turnover machine too, but he only had one turnover. He played 29 minutes and had one turnover. See, that is really good. If RJ can just maintain that, the Knicks are going to be in good shape, baby. Good shape. Good shape. That's a maturity jump right there. It doesn't show up necessarily in him getting 20 a game, but it shows up in him being more of a team part, that if you sleep on him, he's going to bully ball you. But other than that, he's going to be under control. That's what it's looking like. I'm very interested to see how he plays tonight against Boston. I'm very interested to see, because if he maintains that same thing, we got to have something there. We got something there. Now, last game, Bam Adebayo, in my opinion, and Mitch Rob played to a draw. And that's about as good as you could get right there. Mitch Rob, the defense, man, you got to say, there's something on defense you can't see. But that last block he got in the fourth quarter, oh my gosh, man. Big time, man. And Hartenstein is perfect backup 5. Perfect backup 5. Another brilliant move by the Don. Correct? He got the perfect backup 5. Another brilliant move by the Don. Okay? Another brilliant move by the Don. Picking up Hartenstein. I didn't even think about Hartenstein. All of a sudden they say, Isaiah Hartenstein. I didn't even know he was on the Clippers. I knew about the starting dude on the Clippers. I forgot his name, but the guy that the Lakers had drafted, he's really good. Zubac is good, man. I said, okay, they got Zubac. I ain't know nothing about no Hartenstein, but the Don did. Got that, brother. I mean, he is the perfect backup. He's perfect for mob team. What they have done between Hartenstein and Josh Hart is bolstered. What they already had was a strong bench. The Knicks already had it. But you now add Hartenstein and Josh Hart to a strong bench. They're in good shape, baby. They're in good shape. Good shape, good shape. That's all I'm saying. De La Music, 50. Thanks for the $10. I'm with you on Juju. He hit that shot 30% of the time. The other 70% worried about that. Jimmy knew he would snatch the ball from Juju, 6% from the line. Out rebounded. On paper, we lost. Right. On paper, we should have lost that game. Really, we should have. But that shows a team that's not only a hot team, but look, I believe executing at a very high level down the stretch right now. Okay, that's what this is about, the execution on a high level. Speaking of that, I wanted to talk about the standings. Now, if you look at the standings right now, if you look at the NBA standing East, right? East is tough now. But right now, if the playoffs were to start today, you'd have Milwaukee against Atlanta. You'd have Boston against Miami. And Boston playing Miami. I wouldn't sleep on Miami in that matchup. Y'all hear what I'm saying? I wouldn't sleep. If Boston got the 2-7 would be Boston, Miami. I wouldn't sleep on Miami in that. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't sleep on Miami in that. I wouldn't. I wasn't because, look, Eric Spoelstra, one thing you know, they're always going to be tough on defense. I don't care what crew he gets, Eric Spoelstra and them, they play some defense, baby. And so they play playoff style defense. Spoelstra was crying in his soup the other day when the Knicks beat him. He said, we played great half-court defense, and I can't believe he hit that shot. What can you do? We played great half-court defense. What you do? I was surprised. They didn't want to see our half-court defense. He was talking that kind of fool, you know. But he's right. They play playoff-style half-court defense. I wouldn't sleep on Miami if they got to play the second seed, which would be Boston. I wouldn't sleep on them. And that would be big-time ramifications because if you beat Boston in the first round, that is an upset. Okay, that is an upset. Don't sleep on it. Also, I came to another conclusion, y'all. Brooklyn. The thing about Brooklyn that I neglected to perceive or to understand, because everybody's knowing that they lost Kyrie and KD. Okay, we know that. But the thing that I neglected, which I want to share with you, is part of the problem in Brooklyn is that they haven't played together in Brooklyn. So that, you know, Spencer Dinwiddie was on Dallas. Okay. Then you had Nick Claxton. Then you had now Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges were on the Suns, but they haven't all played together. If they're able to come together, I wouldn't want to mess with them either if I'm Philly. Philly would be playing Brooklyn today if the playoffs started today. I wouldn't want to mess with them if I'm Philly. Nick Claxton is better than people think. Thanks for the $5, Paul Nealis. We need to improve on the free throw line going to playoffs. You agree. They need to really improve on the free throw line going into the playoffs. Once a Nick, always a Nick. What's up? What's up? What's up? Picks for Timmy too. What's up? Charlie King, go Knicks. What's up? But I wouldn't sleep on Brooklyn either. All right, so they could sink or swim right now. We're going to find out. But one thing I believe now looking at it, if they start to come together and gel a little bit down the stretch, which is entirely possible. They just won a game the other night. They beat somebody. I forgot who they beat. They beat it. Did they beat Boston? I think they beat Boston the other night, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't that correct? Didn't Brooklyn just beat? Yes, they did. They handily beat Boston. Yes, they did. Brooklyn beat Boston. Okay, so I wouldn't sleep on them. I wouldn't sleep on them. I don't want to mess with them in the playoffs. I don't want to mess with Brooklyn in the playoffs. I don't want to mess with them. Okay. And let me tell you this. If they win the first round, if they were to play Boston or Philly and win in the first round, listen, you can forget Mikal Bridges. Did you hear me? If they show out in the first round, even if they lose, but they go 6 or 7 games in the first round, you can forget Mikal Bridges. He's going to stay in Brooklyn. They're going to go from rebuilding to let's get another piece and see if we can compete again. That's what they're going to do. Okay, so Mikal Bridges in New York is so close because we're right across the Brooklyn Bridge. But if Brooklyn plays better down the stretch here, and they show out in the first round, either win a first round series or go 6 or 7 games with Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson, quiet as kept. Cam Johnson ain't no joke. I'm saying, young Cam Johnson, good, man. So he is now getting in his prime. He's 27. Okay, so you got Cam and Bridges, plus, you know, they can. I've never been a big Spencer Dinwiddie dude. But you get another guy in there, a point guard. I wouldn't sleep on Brooklyn. I wouldn't sleep on them. Don't sleep on Brooklyn. Okay? Don't sleep on them. They are really a real serious point guard away, to me, from being seriously a problem. Because to me, all haters aside, Dinwiddie's really a bench piece. He's not the star. He shouldn't be the starter. So Cherokee, thanks for the $10. This feels so good because the front office built this team from ground up. Yes, they did. Draft, development, trades, and key free agents. Now we've seen the fruits of our labor. We now have a homegrown core. Yes, we do. Knicks fan from in the ATL. Thanks for the $10. Don't get a chance to watch you live often. Not much, but appreciate your efforts, sir. Thank you, Knicks fan from ATL. Appreciate that from the ATL. But don't sleep on Brooklyn. They're not that far away. And you give them a year to gel, a summer to gel together with Cam and McCall, and they need a point guard. They need a real starter level point guard. If they got one, I wouldn't sleep on him, man. I wouldn't sleep on him. Malik Shabazz, thanks for the $10. We got a team. What's up? We got a team. As soon as RJ figured out, you right. If RJ figures it out, we're in good shape. I'm telling you, that's the missing piece right there. He's the wild card. He starts to how fast he matures is how fast we get to the ECF. That's why I was talking about Grant. Jeremy Grant, because we get to the ETF because he's ready, right? But if RJ develops into ready, and I like what I saw in the last 2 games. I really like the way, see, the stats weren't 27 points or whatever, but he was under control. He was not throwing the turnovers or crazy. He was not dribbling out the clock. He was being smarter, higher IQ, I guess what I'm saying. And then when Mitch Rob come back, it helped him defensively. Okay. So RJ now pick up the defense because Mitch Rob is back. Man, watch it now. Jimmy Butler, Bobby, actually, hey, thanks for the $5. I don't know. This is our small forward. Nah, I don't want Jimmy Butler. He's good. I'm not saying he ain't. I don't want him. No, hell no. And he's gonna be asking for like $200 million. Nah. He's gonna be asking for double what RJ got. See, Jeremy Grant ain't gonna cost you no $200 million. Jeremy Grant gonna be in that 100 to 150 range. Probably closer to 120. No, but I don't want Jimmy Butler. No, I'm sorry. No, he's too expensive. We can get, okay. Again, so you're paying 120 for RJ. You're going to pay 200 for Jimmy Butler, who's 32. Y'all, no. He does. He fits our style of play, but that's not the only consideration, Guilford. You have to consider the cost. You have to consider his age. What are you giving up? You're giving up a 22-year-old for a 34-year-old? No, bro. No, baby. I'm sorry. No, just like they said in Apollo Creed and Rocky 2, his trainer said, hey, he's not good for us, baby. Remember that? He said, hey, he's not good for us, baby. That cat, you was hitting that cat with everything, and he wasn't fading, baby. He's not good for us. Just stay away from him. That's what I'm saying about Jimmy Butler. 34? Come on, man. I'm not saying he's bad. He's not a bad player. He's a really good player. But I'll keep RJ. If you're going to tell me Jimmy Butler, RJ, I'm keeping RJ. Okay? I'm keeping RJ. I'm not. I'm keeping RJ. No. Now, you give me 29-year-old Jeremy Grant, who's going to cost me about the same as RJ. Okay, we could talk about that. Okay, we could talk about that. You got to recognize that Jimmy Butler is playing next to Bam Adebayo. He's playing in Spoelstra's system. Okay, they should be good. Tyler Hero's a knockdown shooter. They should be good. Okay, they're supposed to be, but they're in the 7th seed. Okay, behind who? Us. Now we good. We good. Okay, we good. Yeah, it'd be hard to get McCall though. Listen, like I said, if the Nets gel down the stretch, you can forget McCall Bridges. Not only will the Nets not trade him, he probably won't want to go anywhere because they're going to be, they can build something around him. He'll get his chance to build something around him. Okay. He'll get his chance to build something around him. You understand? So McCall would be perfect in New York. What? The Villanova trio? Yes. But realistically, not going to happen. I'm going to tell you right now, not going to happen. Not going to happen. First of all, I don't know if the Don feels that way about RJ to let him go like that. Obi, maybe. RJ, no. Obi was the Don's first choice. That was his first pick. But Obi's not getting no PT, not the way he needs to be getting. Everybody could see that. Obi is a starter level guy that's coming off the bench getting 15 minutes. Okay. But everybody could see that. So Obi might be the guy that they trade, Corey Lindsay asked a question. Do you think the Knicks going to beat Boston 3 times out of 4 tonight? I was just saying, Corey, but I think you weren't here, but the Knicks have no business beating Boston tonight. They have no business beating Boston tonight. Y'all hear me? Corey, you hear me? They have no business beating Boston tonight. If they beat Boston tonight, you got a legit juggernaut. I'm going to tell you right now. If they beat Boston tonight, You got a legit juggernaut. That's why this game is important, because it's not going to prove whether the Knicks can win in the playoffs or not, because they can't. It's going to prove whether you got a juggernaut or not. That's the way we're on the verge of juggernaut, brother. We're on the verge of stomping everybody, baby. We're on the verge of going to that next level a year early. That's all I'm saying, because it's a year early. I wasn't expecting this. You remember what I said the other day? This year is the next year that y'all haters should have seen last year. This year is the next year that you haters and short-sighted people, y'all should have seen this last year. You understand? You understand? That's all I'm saying. Because I expected next year 50 wins. You keep this team like it is right now. Next year, 50 wins. I'm telling you, 50 wins next year. Okay? Speak 50 wins. But it looks like, thanks to the slick move by the Don and getting Josh Hart, thanks to the tough Tom Tibbs, it looks like if they beat Boston tonight, listen to me now, Knicks Nation, if they beat Boston tonight, you got to be starting to think, they could go to the ECF. That's all I'm saying. And who was I listening to the other day? I forgot who. It was some sister. It was a cute sister. It wasn't Monica McNutt. It wasn't the usual suspect, Monica McNutt, and it wasn't my girl there. Forgot her name. Blonde-haired girl, smart girl, know her basketball. It wasn't them. It was somebody else. But they were saying, the Knicks can win the first round, but of course they can't beat Boston, Philly, or Milwaukee. And I was like, oh, I see. And it wasn't Doris Burke. It wasn't Doris Burke, and it wasn't McNutt. It was somebody else. And they were like, well, they can't beat of course they can't beat Philly and Boston and Milwaukee. And I was like, aren't these the same people saying, do y'all remember in September when they were saying the Knicks are probably, everybody's gotten better. I don't even want to name some of these knuckleheads that got platforms and not supposed to have them because they have no idea what they're talking about. But they said, everybody in the East has gotten better. The Knicks have too, but they'll probably still win 37 games. And they might be at the bottom of the play-in if they make the play. Y'all remember that? I got the receipts. Y'all remember that? There was a whole bunch of fools out there, ESPN and people that got platforms that have no business. Some of these little snotty old fools that was probably in diapers when the Knicks was playing with Ewing and them, right? They don't even know what they talking about. And I was like, what? Anyway, probably. So I'm saying, these are the same people that are now telling you the Knicks could win a first round series. Oh, yeah. But they won't get past the Philly or Boston or Milwaukee. That is some bullcrap. And tonight is a very important step. If the Knicks beat Boston in Boston tonight, anything is possible. And you have to start thinking in terms of ECF with them, which, again, I will admit is a year earlier than I thought. I was thinking we could talk about that next year during a 50-win season, okay? And listen, some of y'all remember last year I was telling y'all, last year's Memphis Grizzlies will be this year's Knicks. I told y'all that, didn't I? I said last year's Memphis Grizzlies are going to be this year's Knicks. And some of y'all were like, oh, no, they'll never be as good as Memphis. They don't have Ja. I was like, y'all are just catching it, man. Y'all ain't catching it. But it looks to me, in last year, Memphis was pushing that button, right? Pushing that envelope last year. And they doing it again this year. Because you know what? Ja, okay, I don't even know, are they just, please help me. I'm serious. Are they suspending him because he showed the gun on Instagram? And I'm wondering, was it an illegal gun Or is he licensed to carry a firearm and it was a problem him showing the firearm? I'm just having a problem understanding. And then I was looking for facts to come from Wojnarowski, and all he said was he's got mental issues. That ain't telling me nothing. Was the gun illegal? That's all I'm saying. Was it a legal firearm? Did he threaten somebody with the gun, or did he just show the gun? That's all I want to know. I mean, because that's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't understand what the big deal is. I really don't get it. He was waving it. Okay, so is it illegal for him to wave a gun that he's licensed to carry? Am I understanding this correct? Like, isn't Memphis a show like you can carry and show? It's like when, you can openly carry. I thought, I mean, see, maybe I don't know. I thought Tennessee was an open carry state. That's all I'm saying. Okay. That's all I'm saying. I thought it was. So I don't know what the issue was. Okay, so it's not illegal to show a gun. So please tell me, seriously, it was in Denver, that's right. He was in Colorado, right, Quan? Okay, he was in Colorado. I don't know if Colorado is an open carry state. I don't know. I thought Tennessee was. He was in Colorado, Malik, right? Okay, was that the problem because he was in Colorado? Or maybe because he was in the club with it? I'm trying to understand what was so heinous that they're talking about suspending him. I mean, he didn't hit nobody. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I really don't understand what was so heinous that they want to suspend him and talk about he got mental issues. I think the whole mental issues that he's saying is just to get the heat off him. And he got calmed down. Yeah, they treating him like they did AI back in the day. See, AI came out the bricks like this. I'm wearing my braids. I'm wearing my baggy pants. But at the time, remember the gangsters were wearing baggy pants and Timbs. And he said, I'm wearing my baggy pants. I'm wearing my jeans. I don't care what you think. I'm not at Georgetown no more. And they didn't like that. The NBA didn't like that. The problem was AI was worldwide. See, it wasn't like Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf where he was local. AI was worldwide. He had signed that Adidas deal. I think it was Adidas, and it was worldwide. He was big, and so that was money right involved with AI. Okay, so they couldn't mess him up. Plus, he was Reebok, right? Thank you, Ace of Spades, Reebok, and AI was just that dude. He was just that dude, man. I mean, he made Jordan look like Jordan couldn't guard him, man. AI was just that dude, man. So that was that, but So Ja is probably saying, "Look, let me be cool." And if I'm his rep, I'm telling him, "Look, just be cool, man. Keep making your money. Just calm it down a bit. Just tone it back, and then you get back on the court and win some games, and everybody loves you." Okay, that's how that game works. That's why I was just wondering. Okay, because Ja, okay, he misses 2 games. That ain't no big deal. Really, it ain't. They 6 games behind Denver right now. So it ain't like they're gonna catch Denver anyway, but they got to be top 4 in the West, I believe, right? So, but Ja, it come playoffs, nobody want to see him. Nobody want to see him come playoffs. And unlike AI had AI and 4 defenders around him. That's what he had, defensive dudes. He had Mutombo. He had this other cat I forgot that came out of Seton Hall, I think, this Haitian cat. He had a bunch of dudes that was defenders. Eric Snow. He had a bunch of dudes around him that could defend, and he was the scorer. Ja got a better team around him than AI had. Ja got a better team around him. With Dylan Brooks and with the kid from Gonzaga, and then of course you got Triple J, and you got a team. You got a better team around you in Memphis now. Amarkey, right? He had some tough dudes, but I think Bain. That's right. I think Memphis got a better team around him than AI had. So, and Ja is, to me, I don't think I'm too crazy if I say Ja is on that AI level. Just a different type of dude, but he ain't got the handles. But he's on that AI level, man. Ja is on that level. Okay, so nobody wants to see Memphis in the playoffs. I don't care. Denver's one of them teams that wins during the regular season, like Utah. Wins during the regular season, gets smacked around in the playoff. Let's see if they can make it different this time. That's what I'm saying. I mean, they can win in the regular season. They do all kind of win, but playoff time, they get smacked around. Okay, they do. They better hope that Murray could come to play. They better hope Murray could come to play. It's open carry nice. Okay, so I don't understand what the problem was. I really don't. Maybe because it was inside a club. Maybe that's what it was. But if he can open carry and he's licensed to carry a firearm, put it this way. Let's see. Let me take a. Let's take a. Okay, if let me. Who am I going to say? Let me say. If Luka Doncic was in Texas, open carrying a gun, would they suspend him? If Luka Doncic was in Texas, open carrying a gun, and he was licensed, would this be an issue? I just want to ask, would you think this would be an issue if Luka Doncic was carrying a gun in Texas, open carry state? I don't think so either. I don't think so either. That's why I'm wondering, what is the issue? See, brethren, I just want to tell you, entertainment is about entertainment and it's about money, right? So some cats that are entertainers but don't generate the same amount of money, people don't play them. That's why I'm trying to tell you, like, about Carmelo Anthony. I love Carmelo. Carmelo is New York. I hope we retire his number, but he's never going to play in New York again. He may not play anywhere again because he's not the same guy he was in his prime. Nobody is really. So he's not generating as much interest. He's not generating as much money as he did. You understand? He's not generating as much money. And that's what this is about. It's about the money. Ja generates money. Do you know how much money there is in pro basketball? Especially when you add the gambling aspect to it, the gambling aspect that they throwing at you all the time. There's a lot of money, man. And Ja is that dude that generates that kind of loot. Even he dwarfs what our AI, and AI was big time. He dwarfs what AI was generating. No. So they want to bring back Ja. They want to, he needs to go get his issues, blah, 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 straightened out, blah, 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 blah. And he's going to do it and come back. I hope the brother come back. Yeah, well, a lot of dudes open carry guns. It's legal. I wouldn't do it either. I'm in Florida, but I don't want no gun. See? But it's not against the law, is the point. It's not against the law, is the point, to carry a gun if it's legal. If it was an illegal bought handgun, that's different. But if he's legal, he got his license to carry it, and he's in a state that allows you to carry it, ain't no problem. What you making a big deal of him carrying a gun for? That ain't stupid. It's a choice. It's a choice, right? Everybody has a choice. You can choose to hire a gun. You can hire security if you want, or you don't have to. It's up to you. Okay? Thank you, son from Brooklyn. He said within Denver County, it's illegal, but it's open carry in the state, son, but not in the city of Denver. Is that what you're saying? Is that what it is? Yeah, and really, November, you hit the nail on the head. You hit the nail on the head. It's the image. That's what it's about. It's the image. It really is. It's about the image. I think November, I can't say it better than you. That's it. It's the image that it's projecting. That's the problem. It's the image. Well, maybe, but if you've been in circles with NBA players or even pro athletes that make a lot of money, most guys kiss their behind. They ain't gonna take them aside and say, listen, Ja, but they're gonna say, Ja, what we doing? Oh, we going to the club. Okay, great, Ja, you do. Blah, blah, blah. They're gonna be kissing behind. They're not really gonna be trying to look out for him. That doesn't really happen most of the time. You do have some, and you could tell the guys that have it from the guys that don't have that type of circle. You could tell. Okay, most guy like Ja Morant's age, in his 20s, with tens of millions of dollars available to him at any time, nobody's gonna say nothing. They're just gonna ride his Bentley and have fun, and that's it. That's it. That's how that game works, man. Okay, but yeah, that's right. Zion was number 1, Ja was number 2, RJ was number 3. Exactly. So I think DeAndre Hunter, or was it Darius Garland came after that? One of them. But RJ 22. RJ gonna be good. I'm not worried about RJ, man. RJ is gonna be good. The question is the time frame. That's all. RJ's gonna be fine, and I'm very encouraged by what we've seen from RJ in the last two games. I'm very under control, very team oriented, very high IQ, better defense because he's got Mitch Rob behind him now. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Mr. Rowan Barrett. There's no question. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Mr. Rowan Barrett Jr. I'm liking what I see from him. So if he can continue this, I think we're gonna be in good shape. I really do. Quentin had a Quentin. Oh yeah, yeah. RJ will be really good when he's 24. Really good when he's 24. You don't want to mess with RJ when he's 24. You just don't. So that's what I'm saying. So right now, well, Shifty Lee asked a question. We going to the finals? I said tonight's game, and I know it sounds crazy, but tonight's game, if the Knicks win, the Knicks have no business winning 9 in a row and winning their 9th in a row in Boston, the team that's number 2 in the league, in the East, they have no business doing this. They really have no business winning tonight in Boston. If they go into Boston and win tonight, you got to rethink how they'll end the season. You got to have them in the Eastern Conference final conversation. Okay? If they win tonight, the NBA's got a problem. Okay, that's all I'm saying. This tonight's game. And I'm not saying if they lose tonight, they won't still go forward. But I'm saying tonight, if they after that game, they should have lost Friday. The Knicks, let's be real about it. The Knicks should have lost the game Friday. They should have. But they won't. So if they escaped Miami on Friday and they go into Boston today and beat the Celtics in Boston, which is, look, it's entirely possible, right? It's not impossible. But they have no business winning tonight. Boston should come all gangbusters today, and they should win this game in Boston tonight. If they lose tonight and when the Knicks win in Boston today, you got a legit juggernaut right now. You got a legit juggernaut closing the season, man. Anything's possible. Anything's possible. Okay? Anything's possible. And you and I know that when it comes to Knicks Boston, you throw out the record. The records don't matter, right? And Knicks Boston, I don't care if the Knicks was the 11th seed and Boston was number 1 seed. You throw out the record. Okay? You always throw out the record because it's Knicks Boston. It's going to be totally war. But tonight's going to be it's going to be interesting. Daily Music 50, thanks again for the $5, my brother. Raw, Miami was the marker, which is why I was uncomfortable with how we won. Today, we're playing with house money. I agree. We are playing with house money today. If the Knicks win today, it'll be 9 in a row. In Boston, they have no business doing that. So if they win tonight in Boston, the NBA, I'm not lying, the NBA got a problem. The NBA got a problem. Okay, seriously. And I still don't think the Knicks are going to catch Philly for the 3rd seed. I still don't see that. I could see them catching Cleveland for the 4th seed. They could catch Cleveland now. They're only a game and a half from Cleveland. They could catch Cleveland. But the 3rd seed, I don't know. And they can if they win tonight. So look, they're 38. What are they? 38 and 27 right now. So that's 65 games, 17 games left. The Knicks can go 12-5 down the stretch and end up with 50 wins right now. I raised my expectations to 47 after the All-Star break. I raised my expectations to 47. But they could really win 50 games. They could. If they win 50 games this year, oh my God. Cherokee Indian, somebody tell Mitch Rob to wear knee pads, man. It's scary. Yeah, it is true. It is true. It's scary to see him fall. Yeah. But if they win tonight, and they could, Brunson or Randle or RJ, and RJ has had some of his biggest games against the Celtics. He has. Okay. And anybody can go off. Hart, Obi, Emmanuel, Quick, anybody can go off. I don't know, man. If they win tonight, that's what I'm saying. They are. I think my man was right. Who was it? Was it De La Music? Somebody said they were playing with house money, and I agree 100%. They playing with house money tonight. They playing with house money. I can't front. They playing with house money. Oh, Skiller, what's up? My man from the BX, what's up? Peace, my brother Tibbs, once again in the Coach of the Year conversation. 2 out of 3 years, maybe Tibbs derangement syndrome can finally end. That's right. I was telling them about how hard the drugs are these days, oh Scribble. I was telling them the drugs are much harder than it was when I was a boy 40 years ago. When I was a kid, you had some weed and you had some, crack just came out. Most of us saw the effects and didn't mess with it, but nobody was sticking needles in there. Today, you got a million ways with a whole bunch of stronger drugs, and some of these cats are messing with today the weed is a bit synthetic, and they put some. I heard, I ain't tried it, myself, but I'm not down anybody that tries the weed. I'm just saying, but the fentanyl, the meth, the stuff they making in double wide, single wide trailers. You know what I'm saying? You got the whole Breaking Bad situation, and then of course you got the weed is a little tougher now, and people, and then of course you got the old stuff, still the alcohol. People be messing with the alcohol too strong. I mean, little wine's all right, in my opinion, but I'm saying, getting too strong in this stuff, man. And nowadays the stuff is strong. So somebody's still talking about fire Tibbs, after the job this cat has done. I'm thinking, please get some help. Get some help. Go call. They got free stuff, especially if you're in New York. They got free clinics that'll help you out. You could go get some help for that problem you got. You know what I mean? Or if you still talking about fire the Don, or you're like, what are you calling him the Don for? He ain't done nothing. I think some of y'all, get a pair of these right here. This helped me out. You could, see a little better. Get a pair of these, take off the Ray Charles glasses, and get some real glasses. Go get your eyes checked so you can see what's happening. You can see what's happening. Because some of y'all is between the drug problem, generally speaking, right? Generally speaking, people that got drug and alcohol problems, generally speaking, they've been in some pain. No, seriously. I mean, that's what called people that really get stuck on stuff is you have experienced some sort of disappointment or pain that causes you to reach for something to try to lose that feeling, that pain that's messing with you, and you keep going deeper into it. So maybe the past Knicks have caused people so much pain that they just tripping. You know what I mean? Because, we did have some dysfunction for a long time, more than 2 decades of dysfunction. I ain't going front. We had dysfunction. But I'm trying to tell you, you're not the battered wife no more. This husband ain't beating you up. You could chill. You actually got a good situation right now. Good situation. Thank you, Cherokee Indian, for the files. The Knicks beat the Celtics. I think James Dolan going to play his harmonica. I think he will. He's going to play his fake blues. Now, the boy ain't no musician. He think he is. He think he ain't. I like James Dolan. I'm telling you, I like him. I care what people. I always got his back. Somebody had the nerve to say I wanted to fire Tibbs. Man, that ticked me off. I was like, what you talking about? I didn't even show him the video I did that said, I got Tibbs back. Forget y'all. Y'all remember that video? I said, I got Tibbs back. Forget y'all. This was before the 8-game winning streak. Y'all know that? You know what I mean? But, people today are dealing with that battered wife syndrome, and they got that pain, and they reaching for them stronger drugs and that opioid stuff, and the weed is even stronger now. And they come out and say some pretty silly things. And I'm just saying to y'all can get help for that these days. They're not just throwing people in jail for that like they used to. They used to be hooked on crack, and they just sweep through and take all the brothers and put them in jail. Nowadays, they're more compassionate, you know what I'm saying? So they'll help you out. So, go get that help, so you can see straight. Go get that help. Because the Knicks are in good shape, baby. In good shape. Good shape. So, look here. If they beat Boston tonight, I'm trying to tell you, I'm going to be watching this game with great anticipation. If they beat Boston tonight, I'm expecting Boston to come out and take care of business. It's going to be a battle to the fourth quarter, no doubt. The Knicks ain't going to just let you walk on them. But I'm expecting Boston, Tatum, Brown, I'm expecting them to go off. If they don't, and the Knicks win in Boston today, this is going to be very interesting, man. You got to start talking about them in ECF. You got to. See, at that point, okay? You got to, okay? Yeah, if they come up, the Knicks, King Ja, the Knicks have no business winning in Boston tonight. After that game Friday against Miami, they have no business winning in Boston today. They really don't. Okay, but if they do, I mean, King Ja, 1985. Suppose they did though. Suppose they come and they win in Boston tonight. NBA's got a problem. NBA's got a problem. They really do. They got a problem. That's all I'm saying. And it's on national TV, and y'all know it's like Tibbs don't play that on national TV. Tibbs don't play that. I mean, on national TV. Thank you, Smoking Nick. Yeah, on national TV. I don't know about that. I hope Grimes dropped like 6 threes today. I would like to see that. You know what I'm saying? I would like to see Q Dog drop about 6 threes today. I really want to see that. I would love to see that. Q Dog, I hope he comes off tonight. I'm just hoping. I hope Q Dog go off tonight. That's all I'm saying. Who got a sore left foot? Nice. Brunson? No, Brunson ain't questionable. No. I'm looking at. Well, I don't know how. Let me correct myself. I'm looking at ESPN right now, and I'm looking at New York Knicks injuries, and they list Brunson as day to day. They list him as day to day, though. All right, so what? All right, let's take this like this, though. Right? Let's take it like this. Let's say Brunson sits today, right? Let's say Brunson sits. Then all that means is IQ starts and Deuce comes into the rotation. That's all that means, right? Right? Am I correct on that? Y'all feeling that? So if Brunson was to sit, Emmanuel quickly would start, and you'd have Deuce coming into the rotation. So let me ask you, how you feel about our chances of beating Boston if IQ starts? That doesn't change my opinion at all. If IQ starts, he might drop 30. Okay? If IQ starts tonight. So, yeah. Roy, you going to call out to a work to go? Heck yeah. Thank you, Cherokee. Heck yeah. I'm going to the game on the 23rd. Y'all know that. Yeah, he heard apparently his foot is sore. So, I have to relax with the Deuce talk. H Money, you know what I feel like telling you, right? But I ain't gonna do it because Miss Stevenson might hear me. Miss Stevenson is here, otherwise I will tell you something. With Deuce talk, there is help available for your drug problem. Don't worry about it. Deuce talk. What's wrong with you, man? What? Okay. Anyway, I would not be sad if Brunson couldn't play today. Give him a night off. Because you stepping in with Emmanuel quickly. Are you kidding me? Yeah. I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about that at all. No, I'm not. Oh, he did? Okay, he landed awkward. Oh, I see. Okay, well, rest him then. Rest him. Bring IQ along. Bring Deuce into the rotation. We ain't got no problem with that. At all. We got no problem. Okay? We still good. No, I think, oh, you mean the last game against the Celtics, Purdue? Because I don't think Grimes had 22 last game. I think he did. I don't think he did. Let me see. Again, I think he had 22 against Brooklyn. I think Brooklyn he had 22 for sure. He went off against Brooklyn. He only had 3 points the last game. Yeah, Grimes was 1 of 5. He didn't shoot the ball very well this past game. But again, he's playing Miami. He's okay. Yeah, but look, yeah, I think we ain't got no problems if JB sits today. See, to me, JB can't miss a game in the playoffs. See, I don't want Brunson missing no games in the playoffs. Okay, I don't want him missing no games in the playoffs. Okay, I don't want to miss no game. We need him there. But so if you want to miss a game, let him miss a couple games today. Rest him tonight. Rest him against Charlotte. Let him come back, later on. Okay, but like whatever the next game is. But we good. we miss that's how deep the Knicks are. You put IQ in the starting lineup instead of Jalen Brunson, and you still got problems if you play in the Knicks. Okay, you still got problems if you play in the Knicks. Okay, you still got problems. That's right. KOM3 New York City say I'm having drug intervention. Exactly. Because people that are still saying fire Tibbs or fire the Don or he's not the Don, there's help available for your problem. Now I can understand H Money, coming a little incorrect on Deuce. I have understand that because you got to have a little foresight. Like I said, this year is the next year you should have saw last year. So if you don't see Deuce the way I see him right now, I got you. You good. You might still, need to get some tissue and clean that thing off a little bit to help you see. You know what I mean? But Deuce is that dude. He just ain't got the minutes. He can't. How you gonna get the minutes? You can't. He's only 22. We're gonna be all right. Not worry about it. Yeah, he's gonna be all right. Okay, really, not worry about it. Okay. But you got to see what I see. I see a boy that can ball. He just ain't got the minutes to be able to go off the way he needs to. But it's all right. Don't worry about Deuce. Not at all. You're going to get a more consistent player when you give him consistent 20, 25 minutes. He ain't got that yet. If he was, yeah, Deuce is that dude. He's a dog, man. Nobody wants to see Deuce meeting you 94 feet. Oh, shoot. Nobody wants to see him? Mm-mm. Oh, yeah. Fournier loves playing against the Celtics. I hope he like rooting against the Celtics because this is what he's going to be doing tonight, rooting against the Celtics. I want to see him doing that against the Celtics. I want to see him doing that tonight. Okay? I want to see him on the bench. Rooting. Let's do it, baby. Let's do it. Yep. So if Jay Brunson doesn't play, I'd rather him almost sit than play, half hurt. I'd rather him almost sit, than play half hurt. We got backup. So let's do what we do, see? But Tibbs leaves it up to Brunson, which I don't have a problem with. Tibbs leaves it up to Brunson. If Brunson feels like he's going to play tonight, he'll play. But if he don't feel like he can go, then he'll sit. We in good shape either way. IQ got this. IQ, y'all notice Emmanuel Quickly's been playing at a high level this year, especially over these last, few games. He's been playing at a very high level, man. Yeah, Frenchie would be like, wee. I want to see him like, wee. I want to see him on the side rooting for his squad. Mm-hmm. Yeah, being the cheerleader. Let's go, baby. Do that. Okay? But if IQ has a start, let's move my man Deuce into the rotation, and let's get ready. Yes, he did. He dropped 15. He could drop 6 threes in 15 minutes and give up 7 threes in 15 minutes. He definitely could do that. He definitely could do that. But I like Frenchie. I ain't going to front. I like Frenchie. No, for real. Frenchie's New York, though. Frenchie's New York. I mean, he got that Paris wee, and Frenchie is cool. The only thing I don't like about Fournier is his contract. And I can't front. I mean, shoot, if you want to pay me $19 million and not play defense, I'll take it too. You know what I'm saying? Give me $19 million. Give me 1 month of that brother's salary, and I'm good for life. You know what I'm saying? But, I don't have no problem. I'd rather him not being paid $19 million. We could do a lot more better with that money. That's all I'm saying. But, Frenchie coming off the bench is better. He's good, man. No front. But I like my 22-year-old Deuce out of West Virginia getting the minutes right now. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I don't like his contract, but he's New York. I like Frenchie. He's New York, man. And when you talk to him, he's real. I like Frenchie. Fournier is real. I got to give it to him. Fournier is the real man. I mean, he's New York. He belongs in New York, honestly. When you're just talking about, a dude that fits New York, Frenchie fits New York. I ain't going to front. He does. He fits New York. But I don't want him playing in front of Grimes. I don't want him playing in front of Deuce. That's my problem. And then, that's what I'm saying. And let's use that contract. If we got to trade Obi, let's get something. Okay. Yeah, I like Frenchie, man. He's cool. I mean, he's a cool dude. As a dude, from what I've seen, Fournier is he's the dude you want to hang out with. right? I mean, Fournier is that guy. Like if he had like a dinner party, you want to go. You know, you want to go hang out with him. He sounds like a really cool dude, man. Fournier. You know, but let's see what happens, man. Let's see what happens. You know what I mean? So yeah, well, Joe Curry, yeah. Though I heard that I've never been to France. That's not like on my bucket list. Like I got other places I want to see first. Like I'd like to see Ghana. I'd like to go to Panama. I've been to Mexico. I want to see Thailand and the Philippines. I like to see those places, Malaysia. But I wouldn't mind seeing France. But I heard they got some good wine. I heard Portugal and France got the best wine in Europe. That's what I heard. That Portugal and France got the best wine in Europe. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. Yeah, I like Frenchie. He's a cool dude, man. I like him. I can't help that he can't, that he can't get in this lineup. That's all right. But he's a cool dude, though. He really is. So I like him. But anyway, yeah, I'd like to, go to France one day, see the sights, see the Eiffel Tower and all that. But yeah, I'd like to go to Ghana. I'd like to see Rwanda. I'd like to go. Those are about the most ones I'm interested. Oh yeah, and what was Mugabe's country? I forgot. Uganda. I'd like to see Uganda, Rwanda, Ghana. Those I'd like to see them. Senegal, I'm a little afraid of Senegal because they speak that strong French there, and I can't even get with it. But Rwanda, they kind of speak English, so does Ghana, and I'd like to go to Uganda if I could. But yeah, those are places I'd like to really see. I'd really like to see Philippines. I'd like to see Thailand, Malaysia. I'd like to see them places as well. Those are my bucket list. And I've been to Mexico. I'm going to go to Mexico again this year by the grace of the Most High. And then Panama and Ecuador and Colombia too. I'd like to visit them places. I heard in Namibia that was cool too. I heard it was. But we're going to check it out. We're going to check it out, see what happens. Right? We're going to see what happens. So anyway, getting ready to go to dinner with my beautiful wife of 38 years, going on 39 years. My lovely one, my sweet Boricua. We're getting ready to go. And I want y'all to know that I really appreciate y'all hanging out here. And I really appreciate the love. And I really appreciate the love for the Knicks y'all have. We're going to enjoy this game today. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm traveling to DC tomorrow afternoon, but I should be on in the morning and give a little report from tonight's game. Yeah, we're gonna see what happens. Please be safe out here. Enjoy the game tonight. Please be safe. The game obviously is in Boston, but please be safe in New York. Yeah, I appreciate that, Corey. Yeah, we're gonna go to the restaurant. My wife and I always have our little date today, so we're going to check that out. And y'all please be safe, enjoy yourselves. I hope you and your family stay safe today. Be cool out there. Shalom.